Hey everyone, it is Stephanie here with Infernal TV, and I'm with Jan of Panzerballett. So, how are you?
I'm very good. Actually, it's weather is nice, and I'm playing music, so it's a good day.
Nice. Good days are always a great thing. But let's get right into Übercode Œuvre. So the first, when I first started playing the album, the first thing I heard was Bleed, but then the song went in an entire different direction. So can you explain how that, I don't even want to call it a cover, more like a reinterpretation, how your reinterpretation of Bleed came about?
Yeah, that was because Miss Sugar is like the holy cow for me because I'm a big time fan since 25 years, and back then when someone showed me Miss Sugar, that was in 99 or something. He showed me the Chaosphere album, and I was totally mind blown. And but I was excited at the time. I was a jazz guitar student, and also, but was always a metal head as well. So, and this I thought about Meshuggah, this is something I want to explore. So I started transcribing them, and then I even decided to write my thesis on Meshuggah. So and then over the years they released more and more stuff, and then there was Bleed, and Bleed became one of their or is maybe their most famous track. And so I thought, well, the most famous track of my favorite band that I never dared touching Meshuggah. I thought, well, that's extreme already. And then my girlfriend, she's a big time Meshuggah fan too. And one day she said, because I was looking for what else could I do for the next album, what else track might be a fit and might add something maybe for the metal community. And then my girlfriend said, "Well, you should. Why haven't you done anything by Meshuggah?" And I thought, okay, Meshuggah. I actually never thought about even dare touching it. So, and then there was this. Didn't know at first what to do with it to make it more extreme. And then there was this idea of making it sound like it would, because it's technically very demanding. It's like the this for the right hand, especially. It's a really a technical exercise. Very you need very uh, stamina. I don't know how do you say stamina or skills to perform it. And I thought, well, I could make something funny out of it, and I could this was the idea to make it sound like it would become slower and then become faster again. So that was the central idea. And then I tried around if it works out in the end. And it did in the end. So, but it took a very long time um, to memorize because these changes are very like meticulous to memorize the outcome, because the outcome is very complex. You need to memorize when to play, when to play what what note. It's less technical because it becomes slower. It becomes technically not that demanding, but it becomes the mind is like on the processor, the brain is on like uh, uh, it's on fire totally. So it takes very much of preparation and meticulousness. And um, and then the other thing was bringing the fun in there. And I didn't think it would end out that way, but it ended taking this mana mana melody and incorporating the mana mana, implementing the mana into it, and from a different corner of my brain came the Enter Sandman quote as well. So that comes at some point of time, and this is was kind of a fun thing because has nothing to do with both has nothing to do with Meshuggah, and still it's in there, and it sounds like for me it sounds like it totally fits, and this is the fun part. Something like that would fit to Meshuggah. Uh, yeah, so that's about it.
Awesome. And then,
Have I missed something?
okay, go on.
No, no, I don't know. Does it answer your question?
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry, I misunderstood. Now, I was also really interested in Ode to Joy because you did both a version with vocals and an instrumental one. And
Yeah.
when I was reading the notes, it said that you chose that one during the pandemic because people were singing Ode to Joy out of their balconies. So, I guess talk about the process of like how you reinterpreted that song, why you released like the two versions with vocals and without vocals, and why that maybe for the time or maybe just because it inspired you, like why you decided to cover that song.
So I decided it because, yeah, because of this flash mob in that time. Um, it was some kind of Sunday in the April of 2020, and I decided not to participate in the flash mob, but um, what I thought about it at some time, but and I thought if I do it, I want to do my own version. At the same time, I realized I wouldn't have time to finish my own version. But I have some friends who did, and one of my friends is Michael Horneck, who's a piano player from Vienna, and he posted his version of it. And his version was very interesting and funny because he placed new chords on it that were progressing like very jazz wise, and it sounded and he performed it along to sheet music that he provided for his post on Facebook or social media. And I thought, wow, okay, I want to take his idea and take it further. And this fits to Panzerballett. This is exactly the idea I wanted to pick up on and develop it further and make it like rhythmically something uh, messing around with tempo and we call it metric modulation. So you could feel it in either one or another tempo. It works in both kind of. And this is something Panzerballett has been doing like on Take Five back then in 2012 and on various occasions. So and and then I had this new version and thought we well then we started playing it live already and it worked out well, but I thought, well, it's quite a long version, the instrumental one, and I thought I wanted something for given that it is very complex, it might be too demanding for some listeners, and I wanted something for like normal people to at least not at least give it a chance or keep listening to it. And because the melody is intact, if you notice, the melody is completely intact. But what has changed is the harmony, and so there's a second voice. The second voice goes somewhere along to the first voice, which is the top voice. And then the rhythm, of course, accordingly goes around it. And but the melody is intact, so everyone could sing along to it. And I wanted to just to prove everyone you could sing along to it, it would fit. That's why I wanted a vocal version. And also I got to know yeah, my girlfriend, she's singing there too. Um, and she's a big time Connie Kreitmeyer fan who sang on our last records, and she said, well, you could you should ask Connie too. Let's do a duet. And I thought, wow, okay, that's a first time thing, a vocal duet. And of course, when there's vocals, and it should be more like friendly for listeners who are not that much into that jazzy fusion stuff, but more in a more compact version. I thought, well, vocal version is shorter and has a different lineup a little bit to make it sound really different from the original, from the instrumental version. And so we ended up with these two versions. And the second and this vocal version will be released in about 10 days. It's the third single actually. With a will have a video, which is at this moment it's being rendered the video. So it's yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait to watch it. So for this question, as I said before the interview, feel free to discuss any other songs off the album you want, any other covers. There are quite a bit of collaborations, so feel free just to take it away, talk about, maybe some of your favorite collaborations and your the songs that and covers that stand out to you.
Yeah, let me point out something. Yeah, one thing, a special thing, um, that like that's why I'm calling the album Übercode Œuvre, because it's something special. I did stuff that I have never done before, um, on almost each of those tracks. It's something special to it, and the special thing about Bleed is that I dared touching that Meshuggah, holy cow, and do you say that holy cow
Yeah, holy cow. Yeah.
it's isn't it, you know what I mean with the
Yeah.
expression, and then of course Virgil Donati, which is who has this his version. I'm going to maybe talk about it, the Alien Hip Hop. This is a classic from Virgil, and I was he allowed me to use it and to rework it together with him, and the other one, the other track which is special is the Ligeti, which might it's the last but one track on the album. It's the Devil's Staircase. It's kind of not for the well for it's not for everyone. Like it doesn't really the melody is not really there. It's not very catchy. So but this one, it took me a year to finish because it was during COVID too. I had there was nothing, no gigs, everything, like the world stopped spinning, the music world stopped spinning, at least the live business. And I was sitting at home and had lots of time, and and then there was again my girlfriend's idea to because she's a Ligeti fan too, and she said she pointed me at a piano solo performance um, from this piece, and this piece has this rhythmic energy and rhythmic stuff going on that reminds a lot about reminds me a lot about what Meshuggah does, and also it has this intensity and dynamic range also. But and I thought, well, I could try something. So, but it took me very long. It took me. I first made a test. How long would it take me? And I sat down um, for the first three bars, the first three bars, like arranging them for guitars, bass, and drums, and then practicing and recording. It took me 3 weeks for three bars, and I thought, okay, it has 50 bars. So in the end, it took me 38 weeks to finish and doing nothing else in these 38 weeks. And I could because there was this COVID lockdown situation. Um, and yeah, that's the outcome. And I don't know if there is a video I put online about this piece, and you can see in the video my hair is growing because I made like I divided it into five pieces. Each one is a minute, and each one is I recorded it like 1 or 2 months is between them. So you see my hair growing and in different setups. One is I even moved in that time. So the first recordings are in the old apartment, and the new apartment is the end with long hair and different guitars. Yeah, so that's the Ligeti. And then the Ligeti, when I released that Ligeti on YouTube back then, there was Steve Vai who got to know about this, and he dialed into a interview that a former a friend of his he pointed him at this interview, and so Steve Vai came into inside of this interview and said, "Well, guys, well done." So this was a big moment too about this Ligeti. Yeah, it's great to have it. It's the first of all the pieces I've done. The others came later. Yeah, okay. And then about alien hip hop, as I started, alien hip hop is this very special track to me because when I started arranging this kind of music or writing my own original music, because I don't write any, like pop music or film music. I even would, but never did. But or nothing. It was just I wanted to. I wanted what I wanted was to play live, and I wanted to play live with cool musicians. And since there was the phone rang, okay, but there were not always the musicians were not cool enough for me. So I wanted to make really cool musicians. And so they didn't approach me. I had to approach them. So I had to write my own music. I had to book my own gigs. Then I could ask the cool musicians there. And like 20 years later, we have Panzerballett as it is now. So it was all about my desire playing live shows with cool music. So when I started that writing and arranging and like Alien Hip Hop was and Planet X and Virgil Donati, they were like almost like Miss Sugar, they were a heavy influence. And so for me, it's a big honor to have this particular piece on this album. And it is if you know the original, it is already very demanding and technically, not only technically, but it's like brain demanding. It's and this version takes it even one step or two steps higher. So and we also have the second single. There's a video. We spent some efforts to make this video. Have you seen it?
Yes, I
Uh,
have.
you
Yeah, I was
have.
just watching it last night, actually.
Okay. Yeah, and then there is what else do we have?
I guess some of your other I mean, because you had so many collaborations on this album.
Yeah.
We also wrote down Marco Menemen and
Yes.
Annika Niles. Did you want to
Yeah.
discuss them a little
Yes,
bit?
of course. Yeah, Marco is already on the last release, Planet Z, and there was that time when I decided to make the lineup not a fixed one, but to change it to a switch to a changing lineup, and that opened the door to try out different musicians and to try out the musicians I always wanted to work with. And Marco was one of them because yeah, I've been following his career. He had a time in Germany uh, uh, shortly before I started doing my stuff here. Shortly before that, he moved to San Diego, so he wasn't available anymore, kind of here. So but I always thought if Marco still was here, I would for sure try approaching him for gigs. I couldn't do that now, so I wanted to catch up on that, and I wanted to make it possible, something at least record something together. So and it turned out to be very easy because he's very fast. You know, you just send him the music, send him the maybe the charts and or the MIDI file, and that's it. And he sits down, and it takes him not a lot of. It's quite easy to work with him. And yeah, and Annika, she's we work in the same academy. Um, it's in Mannheim. It's the Pop Academy in Baden-Württemberg, so in Mannheim in Germany, and she's head of the drum department, and I'm in the guitar department there. And every now and then we see each other, but I didn't even know her from there. I knew her from her videos that she did like 10 years ago, and she was also one of the first to experiment with quintuplets and quintuplet grooves. And this is what we already did. Like in 2012, we had our first quintuplet infested tracks. So I thought, well, Annika, she's a specialist in that matter as well. And since it reminded me always seeing her in that academy, I thought I could ask her to record something, and it worked out well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now I'm going to go into your upcoming tour. You're going to be playing some live shows next month, and you also mentioned this, but you have rotating band members, and I noticed that some contribute to the album, some play live, some do both. So I guess talk about who will be on this upcoming tour and why you chose them.
Um, so um, it's for the drums, it's Virgil Donati because he has been working with us since we started with the together with the NDR big band. I don't know if you've seen that. We released it last year. There is a collaboration with the NDR big band, and uh, that started even during COVID too, during that time. And it took, because of COVID and several other issues, it took years until it was finished. But in that time, Virgil was on our map, or he already had learned some of the tunes, and there was a point of time when we wanted to play at Euroblast. That's a festival in Germany, and Sebastian, who was playing drums back then, he started concentrating on his other project, like Obsidious. That's an amazing tech metal band too, and he had the same. He got a gig with his band at the same festival, and he said, "Well, I rather choose playing with Obsidious. Can't you ask maybe Virgil? He knows some of the tunes already." And I thought, okay, I could try, and Virgil, he actually agreed but it was only a short set of songs. So didn't took him too much efforts to learn that. And then we all, yeah, we decided to work more and more together, and so that's how it developed. So and I thought, yeah, and Virgil is just a very good fit to the music, and because and he's available. He's not. He moved from LA to Europe to Rome, and so it's not that hard to get him here, which is for Anton Davidians. He's ba the bass player. He lives in Russia, so an issue for him. He can't just he has to be here kind of anyway in Europe, and because it's like very expensive to travel, and it takes a lot of time and efforts to get a visa, and so and it happened that in that period of time he's already in Europe. He's already touring with someone else. So I thought, okay, let's choose May to Anton is here. Let's choose the time that Anton is here, and that but and he's already he knows the program, lots of it, so it's not much more for him to learn. Um, yeah, and then there's Florian Fennes, who's been actually playing most of the tunes, most of the program. Yeah, he's kind of the one who's uh, familiar with most of the tunes at the moment. So he lives in Vienna, by the way, and most of the so all of the musicians, none of them live here in Munich like it used to be at one day. We were all locals, and now it's just me and like two Austrians, one Russian and one American living in Europe, and it takes a lot of efforts bringing him here. So and Rafael Trujillo, he is um, also playing. He's busy with Obsidious actually too, but overall he's busy, but he managed to learn our stuff, and I'm happy to have him because he's a very skilled player.
Awesome. Now, I know you explained you have a student coming up, so I don't want to take too much of your time. Hopefully, your student doesn't mind if you're a little late, but feel free to just say anything else, feel free to promote the album, the tour. It's all on you.
Okay. So well, the tour um, is something. If you're in the area, you shouldn't miss it. If you're like progressive music, if you like funky, progressive, or genty, or yeah, music that demanding but rewarding at the same time. If you let it grow on you a little bit, if you give it a chance to grow on you, you will be rewarded. And this is the chance to witness it, because the musicians who play are amazing, and it's an amazing lineup. And it doesn't happen too often that we come together. Um, so that's a chance in to at least if you're in Germany and or Austria, Switzerland in May. Some of the people travel far to see us, and we have a special event that's a open rehearsal. That's the first show. It's like the rehearsal before the first show. That's our hometown, Munich, or close to our hometown. It's going to be a special event, an open rehearsal on May the 8th, and then we start in Switzerland, in Wiel on the 9th of May, and we end. Then we play in Germany, and the tour ends in Vienna on the 17th of May. We'll we'll play the best of our best arrangements, and just please come out to the show. It doesn't happen too often. So what else can I say? I don't know.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
checking out this. I'm sorry?
Yeah, it's good. It's
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you said something. Thank you all so much for checking out this interview. Panzerballet's newest album, Übercode Œuvre. When will I actually realize I forgot to write down the release date? When will the album be released? Again, I'm
it's
sorry.
April
April 25th. That's right.
25th.
That's right. I was like, I knew it was this month, but I couldn't remember the date. So April 25th, it's coming out very soon. There are already a few singles out, a few videos. And like Jan said, there's going to be another video for the Ode to Joy coming out soon. They're going to be playing some dates in Europe next month. So check out those tour dates. Definitely come out because I want to see this band live from all your YouTube videos. Seems like you have such a fun set. So definitely come out, support these guys, and thank you for watching, everybody. Stay metal and jazzy and funky and all the other genres that Panzer Ballett plays.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.